Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I'm your daily starting host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Matt. Surprised you haven't traded me this week. There's been so many trades.
Yeah, well, we threw your name out there, and, just like Zach Eflin and Sagano, you just can't trade everybody. You have to have takes two teams to make a trade here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked last week. The roster looks quite a bit different.
I looked. There's been 9 people traded in like the past 2 weeks. With the Orioles doing this.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a huge roster. I think, was it the White Sox? No, the Cubs series where it started with 2 guys in our bullpen that were in the bullpen at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So it
was already getting wild even before that. And then,
and now we're at the point of the schedule where there's a guy I've never heard of in the lineup every day.
Yeah. And were you prepared for the pinch hitting of Noda yesterday?
No, I didn't know who Noda was. I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw MLB Trade Rumors had some kind of headline before the game, like Orioles might have found the replacement to Ryan O'Hearn, which is such a stupid headline, but it was about Noda, so I had some indication of Noda.
Well, and I saw that they sent Vavra down and Noda up, but I didn't know who Noda was.
Yeah. And he came through with a big hit yesterday. Didn't matter in the end, but it was fun to see him come through with a big hit.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's frustrating because the Orioles didn't play horrible in Chicago, but they didn't play good. Like it's fun to have a complete game, 1-run game by Trevor Rogers, who we keep looking at and saying, is Trevor Rogers, did he really figure it out? Right. Is this always going to stay together? So to get that is amazing. But then you're telling me this team cannot score 1 run, and I'm supposed to be hopeful for the future of these young kids? That's frustrating.
And I was looking at that lineup kind of coming after the trade line with the Cubs, and I was like, oh, that's still a pretty good lineup. I mean, you still have Westberg and Gunnar and Colton and Mayo and Holiday, and Rutschman. You can still roll out a similar top kind of 5 or 6, and so you would hope that but the Cubs are a good team. It's not
they are, but it's any time to see this team just get shut out is frustrating.
Yeah, I agree, and it seemed like both those games that we lost were winnable games, though we've been saying that all year.
Yeah, true.
You mentioned we traded away 9 guys. We also got back 16 prospects in return, which is the most out of any team.
We did, and there's some good prospects. How do you want to do this? Do you want to look at Mike Elias overall for how he handled this, or do you want to go through each trade?
I mean, we can go through the trades. I can't give you. You could find other places to get better analysis on these minor league prospects than we could offer.
No, and we're going to be just doing overall global like this. I think it's safe to say we're not in a rebuild mode, even with all these prospects.
Yeah, I agree. And based on the comments by Mike Elias, he seems to think like it's a retooling. But again, you can say that and we can say that, but I think everyone's waiting then for okay, what comes next now?
And that's what I want to talk about today as well, is what comes next.
Yeah. All right. So let's just go through them real quick.
All right.
We can start with the first trade, the Brian Baker. We got back the competitive balance pick, who turned into Slater DeBron, who people seem to like. I was reading, I don't know how much you read about this. I was reading a little bit about not just the DeBron pickup, but our kind of draft class as a whole. And a lot of people are giving us, I don't know, but a lot of people are giving us great grades on how we did in
Right.
the draft. And we got the most players
But you
out of the
never know
draft
how
as
much
any
is
team.
that. You never know how much of that great grade is that baseball is such a crapshoot that we just have the most players.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have the best chance because we're throwing the most out there.
Yeah. And we are, as Oriole fans, we're jaded by past experiences of top picks. And we've talked in the past about, can't miss guys like Dylan Bundy who missed. But you don't need to go back that far. I can't get past, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get past we had too many outfielders, too many left-handed hitting outfielders last trade deadline. So we had to trade really a kind of an unnecessary trade, but just to clear up roster spots. We ended up trading Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby.
Yeah.
On what we saw in the minors and the majors, it would be really hard to make a case that that Heston Kjerstad would be a bust and Kyle Stowers would turn into an MVP caliber player. So, and that's not even just being drafted. You had
No.
AAA sample size, you had major league sample size, and Kyle Stowers was not good when he
Right.
played in the majors for the Orioles, but he figured it out. So, yeah, so I'm with you. Even the prospects, it's
Just prove it.
It's impossible.
And I know Kjerstad has had a lot of health issues, and I'm sure that's part of it. And it's playing time. Stowers gets to play every day in Miami. So I'm sure there's some of that as well.
You think Kjerstad would be an MVP candidate if he played every day?
No. No, I don't. I do not think so.
Yeah, but
sometimes it's, like you said, you don't know, and the right system, the right opportunity just clicks.
Right. So the fact that we added 21 guys in the draft and 16 guys for trades is, I think, the way to go, because you just throw as many chances at this thing.
Right.
And you hope some of them pop. And you hope some of this is kind of arsenals for trades in the offseason. But again, it's like it's so hard to tell who's going to turn into be super successful and who's just going to flame out. It's so hard to tell.
Right. But it's also, when looking at all these trades, you got to also remember how many of these guys were actually part of the future of this team. And there was maybe one guy who had a possibility to be here next year that was traded out of these 9. So it is kind of setting up not just for the future, but it's also giving opportunities for 2026 for guys.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's good to make room in the roster for other guys and other opportunities. So I think that's a good thing. It's just
all right. So
yeah, all right. So that was the first.
So
trade.
Baker to Rays seems like, maybe we saw him implode. I think 2 losses in a row on him
with the Rays or with
Tampa?
us. Yeah, with the Rays.
Tampa.
Yeah.
So good time to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen just this past week. I was watching the Yankees and their 2 relievers
yes.
implode. Like these receivers, I mean, these relievers. It's a tricky ball game with these guys. I don't know. You trade prospects and it sometimes doesn't even work out.
And Baker's been a roller coaster his entire time here.
Yeah, he's this classic reliever where he goes on long streaks where his stuff looks amazing, but then I still don't trust him with 2 runners on and 2 outs in a big spot. I never really have trusted him.
Right.
So but we feel like we can replace him. He's replaceable.
Yeah, not worried about that.
Yeah.
Next trade was Dominguez, right?
I think Soto was before Dominguez.
Oh, I forgot about Soto. You're right.
We got Wellington Arancina and Cameron Foster. Wellington Arancina, I don't even know if I'm saying that name correctly, but he seems like a really intriguing arm a lot of people like. And what you'll notice in a lot of these trades, Josh, is the amount of pitchers. Lots and lots and lots of pitchers.
Yeah, and what it is also it's that whole bringing an arm. Maybe it clicks here.
Yeah.
Like Stowers clicked in Miami. Maybe one of these guys will click and we'll be able to bring him up in the bullpen and this organization will work out well for him.
Yeah, and I think it's been a fair criticism of Elias is the lack of pitching prospects and pitching arms brought to the majors. There really aren't there because we've invested so much draft capital in position players.
Yeah. In 20-year-old blonde boys.
That's right. So next is the Dominguez.
Yeah.
For another right-handed pitcher, Roran Watts Brown.
Yeah, which is their number 10. Well, in the Blue Jay system was number 10. And that's what's neat about all these prospects we're bringing in is our top 30 is going to be completely different thanks to these prospects.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I mean, they've all been added to our. I wonder what's the number of new. How many of them fit into our top 30?
yeah, I'll have to look it up. But
Yeah.
this was just a fun trade because it was between doubleheaders.
Right, and so and he pitched in the second game of the doubleheader.
He did
Which,
with his upside down 8.
yeah, we should have used him the first game, because he pitched really well too.
Yeah.
And then also it's funny that in Bowie, it was a similar thing where the Toronto Blue Warren Watts Brown was able. They're playing the Chesapeake. I was Bay Sox, and so he was able to come just to the other dugout,
Right. He had the exact same situation.
just like Dominguez. Yeah.
Yes.
The other interesting thing about that trade, Josh, is cash was included. The Orioles sent cash to Toronto as well. And I don't know if you heard Elias talk about this, but this was something that I guess Rubenstein supported, the idea that we will send money with some of these deals in order to get better prospects. So that's something small but encouraging.
Yeah.
That we were willing to send money.
And it's normally we will trade whatever for cash and a bag of balls. So
Yeah.
for us to actually send money, yeah, that's new.
So multiple of these deals, you'll see, multiple of these deals include a player plus cash in return for prospects. All right, so the next deal is, and this is the one I think that rubs some people the wrong way, maybe more the return, I think, because there was another year in the deal. This wasn't an expiring contract, and that was the Astros received Ramon Arias and
Yes.
cash, and we got back Twine Palmer.
Yeah. I don't mind this move at all. I kind of like it.
Even though, you could have had him next year.
Yeah,
even
but
though
he
the
was
return
really
light.
he was really just here as a placeholder for when guys get hurt. And if Westbrook can stay healthy and Gunnar stay healthy and Holiday stay healthy, there's no need for Urias. I feel bad for him because we traded him to Houston and it's like, oh, I'm going to get all this playing time and get to play third base every day. And then, 3 hours later, they sign Correa?
Yeah.
Or trade for Correa, and
Yeah.
he's now back on the bench.
Yeah.
But no,
he's on a playoff contending team, and
I
World
always
Series
saw
contenders.
him exactly, but I always saw him as a placeholder here. I didn't see him as part of the future. I was calling for them to trade him last offseason because I didn't see his spot here.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were debating who should we cut, Mateo or Arias. I'm surprised. It's actually almost shocking to me that Mateo and Arias have lasted on the roster this long.
Correct.
Through all these kind of young players coming
at this point, we're done with both of them.
Yeah. And so to get anybody in return, it's fine. Like, I thought he was a question mark to even,
that someone would
come
want
back
him.
next year.
Yeah.
Even though he was in a country for one more year.
Yeah, I saw him. I did not see him being traded. I saw us just releasing him at the end of the year.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought that was going to be an interesting conversation. Mateo is always interesting, and then Ryan Mountcastle, I think it's going to be interesting because we can talk about this later, but he has one more year left in arbitration, and what to do with Ryan Mountcastle, I think it'd be an interesting discussion as well. All right, so we're both okay with that, and I think Twine Palmer is a cool name. Twine is a cool name, and of course, an Oriole with the last name Palmer is good here.
Yep.
All right, next one, and we saw this. I mean, we're just seeing this all the time now. We play the Astros, in 2 series, I think? We played the Cubs this series, so we got to see Kittredge pitch yesterday. So the next one, Andrew Kittredge goes for shortstop Wilfrey De La Cruz. Are we okay? And Kittredge is another guy that was under contract for 2 years, so he had another year, and we traded him away. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that. I don't think we've seen a whole lot from Kittredge this season to get excited for. I think Batista, I know Batista's hurt now, but we saw enough to see that Batista can bounce back from Tommy John. So I'm okay with passing on Kittredge.
Yeah, and I mean, Andrew Kittredge missed the first half of the season with knee stuff.
Yep.
And he's 35 now, so next year he'll be 36. So, yeah, I think this is a good time to move on.
And we love flexibility in our bullpen.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I think if you wanted to address it, I mean, now you're kind of having tryouts for all these relievers now, so maybe you'll find an in-house option. Or this is a Kittredge signing. I feel like there's several of those kind of guys in the offseason you could sign.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. The next one, this one hurt some feelings, Josh. Feelings were hurt. The Mets. You agree this was the one that hurt the most feelings? Forget that got the feels the most.
Feelings, yes.
Yeah.
As far as hurting the team, no.
All right. The Mets receive Cedric Mullins. We get back Raymond Gomez, Anthony Nunez, and Chandler Marsh. I thought this was, again, I don't know how these guys will turn out, but I thought this was a pretty good return for half a season of a fourth outfielder.
Yeah. No, I totally thought it was good, especially when we saw his struggles at the plate. We know he's a career 240 hitter. We've seen his defense, and he makes flashy defensive plays, but then when you look at the stats, it shows him as like one of the lowest ranked center fielders in baseball. So that's one of those where I was surprised to get so much, because on paper, it doesn't appear that he's worth that much.
Yeah, and yeah, I think those, we talked about before, I think those metrics are nonsense.
I know, but when you're looking at trades, they run it all through the computer, so they're looking at all those metrics.
Yeah. But again, to get all pitchers too, so just interesting.
Yeah, that's where we got our Arcina. Was Wellington Arcina was one of those guys?
No. We already talked about him.
Oh, okay.
He was in the Soto trade, but another
Gotcha.
kind of Mets deal.
All right.
So we got a bunch of prospects from the Mets.
Yeah. Well, that guy is number 22 in our top 30 right now.
22?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know did any of these guys make our top 30? Gomez, Nunez, or Marsh?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to look. It's kind of hard because I can't. I just gotta pick out names I recognize.
Yeah, that's fine.
When trying to look at the top 30 list and see, they don't show me who wasn't there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, so we're okay with that one. Yeah, feelings, yes. So I think, and I do want to do, I think stat by stat, I think it's a really interesting discussion. Who was a better Oriole, Cedric Mullins or Adam Jones?
Oh, really?
I think you look at Adam Jones as Mr. Oriole, but who played a better center field?
Oh, my. I wouldn't even think that's a discussion. I would have to go back and look at the stats, but I wouldn't even think that's a discussion.
I don't know. I think it's pretty close. And I think that's part of Cedric was here longer, right?
I think they were both here about the same number of years.
Let's see. Adam Jones was here 10 years. Career average 279. Cedric Mullins, career batting average 255. All right, you're right. Adam Jones, 263 home runs as Orioles. Cedric Mullins, 87. Adam Jones has 4 Gold Gloves. Cedric has none. All right, I give up my argument.
Yeah.
I think, all right, Adam Jones is much better.
Adam Jones had a career WAR of 32.6.
Yeah. Don't look at Cedric Mullins' career WAR.
Yeah.
The only thing Cedric Mullins has over Adam Jones is the 30-by-30 season.
Yeah. And
So,
Cedric Mullins brought this unique talent of power and speed, and he did have that 30-for-30 year that was excellent.
Yeah.
And I think he, just based on kind of you talk about prospect, based his ranking, I think he exceeded the expectations for him. He was number one prospect. So I think he did.
And Cedric had that 1 year, that 2021 year, that jars all of his stats.
Right. Yeah, that both good and bad, right? Sets expectations maybe a little bit too unreasonable.
Yeah.
But he's still a productive, good major league outfielder.
So I take that back. Adam Jones, clearly better. Cedric Mullins will eventually be in the Orioles Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll come back as a banana one day.
I'm sure he will. And Oriole fans love him for the exciting plays. And, again, 13th round pick. So never a kind of a highly ranked prospect.
Yeah.
But was kind of famous for being the successor to Adam Jones. That whole running out on the field thing was cool. And
No. That was unnecessary.
Okay, I thought it was
That was Adam Jones declaring Cedric Mullins is his outfielder.
yeah.
You didn't see Cal Ripken do a little, let's send Ryan Miner out to shortstop before everyone else.
Yeah,
I
but
think it was a little unnecessary.
okay, but I think it was less about Cedric Mullins specifically, more about turning over the roster to this next generation of guys.
I think it was about Adam Jones making it about Adam Jones.
Okay. You think before he was traded, Cedric Mullins should have brought out Enrique Bradfield Jr. to run out to center field?
I would have loved that, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think Bradfield's ready for center field.
No, or the Orioles.
Yes.
That is nice.
That's exactly.
All right. So yeah, that's
the feels.
Yeah, that's the feels. And you're not closing out the possibility of a reunion one day too with Cedric Mullins. I kind of am, but you're kind of keeping that door a little bit ajar.
I'm not. I think because again, those metrics don't look great for him. I'm okay, and I'm open to giving him a short 2-year contract because we don't have the depth in the outfield ready to go like we should.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, especially with I mean, and what furthers that argument is the next trade we're going to talk about, our trade with the Padres.
Yeah.
Where we sent them our 2 best hitters, O'Hearn, well, outside of Gunnar, I guess. O'Hearn and Laureano, our 2 best hitters this year, O'Hearn and Laureano, and Cash again. And we get back Boston Bateman, Tyson Neighbors, Tanner Smith, some great baseball names. Oh, this is a great one. Brandon Butterworth, love that. Cobb Hightower, and infield Victor Figueroa. And I think in terms of names, we crushed this in terms of the names we got back. Great baseball names.
And Bateman is now ranked 6 on our top 30, and Hightower is ranked 21 in our top 30.
Yeah. So this is a situation where we decided to combine two of our best kind of trade candidates to get back a stronger return.
But this is the one where Ryan O'Hearn we knew was going to get traded. I really thought Laureano would be part of this team next year. And that was the only trade where I was like, oh, that stings a little bit. But the return is too good to question it.
Yeah. I mean, this is certainly the best prospects we got back was this deal. And it makes sense if you trade away 2 good guys. And the Ramon Laureano discussion is interesting because I could see the case, right? This is, if you want to talk about peak value and getting return back for peak value, Ramon Laureano is having an incredible kind of bounce back year. I think there's questions. Is it sustainable? I think that you can make an argument like this is kind of the Cedric Mullins 30 for 30 deal. It's not going to happen again.
Right.
So you want to capitalize on this great year. If you look, I mean, last year he had a WAR of 1.3. The year before, 1.7. The year before, 0.9. So he's never come this close to his WAR since like 2019. So this is kind of a throwback year. He's 30 years old. So I think the Orioles kind of are also banking a little bit on he's not going to be able to repeat this. And you also hope, Colton Cowser steps up his game and, you get production other places. But yeah, I was a little disappointed because I thought he could be an important piece on a team that needs more hitting, but it's a good return.
Yeah.
It feels maybe now, last week we talked about needing to sign 1 outfielder. Maybe now we say we need to sign 2 outfielders.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign 2 outfielders, and that's why I do keep the door open for Cedric Mullins.
Yeah. I guess.
Because
as long as he's not the best outfielder we sign.
No. But right now your only outfielder. Right now your only outfielder next year is Cowser.
You don't feel good about Jeremy Jackson out there just dropping easy fly balls? Jeremiah Jackson.
Not the way to start the game.
What about and Mateo? I don't know if Mateo's still alive. I know he's still on the team.
I don't see Mateo part of this team next
future
year.
Center fielder, Jorge Mateo.
I don't think he's a future Oriole. I don't know when his contract's up.
He has 1 more year of arbitration, I think.
The only thing he's had, the advantage for Mateo has been speed. And as he gets older and the kids get younger, I don't think he's the fastest on the team anymore.
Yeah, here's our list of outfielders according to MLB.com. Jordan Adams, Dylan Carlson, Colton Cowser, Heston Kjerstad, Tyler O'Neill is our list of outfielders there.
Yeah, one of those guys you can count on for next year.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Dylan Carlson's interesting, but again, he seems more like a depth piece. And Tyler O'Neill, we talked about before, his whole thing is health. But
I
even if he's
think-
healthy, he's a platoon guy, not an everyday outfielder.
And the interesting part with that, with the outfield, is going to be Dylan Beavers.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll probably see him in the next few weeks once we
Yeah.
get past his rookie eligibility or whatever.
Yeah, if anyone, I never really can figure out the rookie eligibility. I think the deal is, here's the definition of rookie eligibility, but I don't know if there's a big date here. But
It's number of games or innings.
it's a combination, or it's one of these things. You have to be have fewer than 130 at bats. So 130 at bats, less than that to remain rookie eligible. Or this is not or you remain on the team, or if any of these things happen. So if you go over 130 at bats, you lose your eligibility. If you play in more than 45 games, you lose your eligibility. But the weird thing about that 45 game number is, I'm pretty sure it doesn't count September 1st when they expand the rosters. If you're on expanded rosters,
It is.
it doesn't count.
Yeah, I
towards that
just
30
looked it up.
days.
It is not 45 games. It's 45 total days.
Yeah, 45
on
days
the roster,
on the roster. Yes,
excluding September. So
Yeah.
that one we're fine with right now.
yeah. So it'd just be keeping the at bats down, which
Right, but the at bats,
but won't be an
100
issue. We can control the at bats.
yeah, unless he hits a lot in September.
Right.
Where if they wait until September 1st, it doesn't matter. He stays a rookie.
Right. All right. So that's something. So, I mean, and that's true for Beavers, who's putting up kind of great numbers this year
Yeah,
in the minors. So he's an exciting outfielder. And then Basayo, of course, as well. It's going to be the same discussion. Basayo
and Beavers is number 3 in our top 30 right now.
Okay. And
Well,
Basayo's
Basalo's number 1, obviously.
Yeah. Who's number 2?
Enrique Bradfield Jr.,
Okay. Yeah.
who's
But
not having a great year.
yeah. Well, he's had injuries too. So it's been a bum year for him. Yeah.
Then our next outfielder is Nate George and Vance Honeycutt, which are at A and high A. So we don't have depth.
Yeah. I mean, this year in the minors, Enrique Bradfield Jr. has only played in 43 games. So that's
Right.
discouraging.
He's going to end up dropping down this offseason in those rankings because of that.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Because he's struggling.
Yeah. Struggling to stay healthy. I think it's the big struggle. All right. Let's see. We have one more trade to get to. And this was the last minute. You thought, oh no, they're not going to trade this guy. I thought for sure.
This is one of those 401s or 601.
601 announcement. Yeah. And that's the Charlie Morton goes to Charlie Morton plus cash again, goes to Detroit for another pitcher, a left-hander, Micah Ashman. And this seemed like inevitable, right, Josh? The trading of Charlie Morton.
Did we send cash? I thought we got cash for that one.
No, we sent cash.
Okay. All right, I had that backwards on my notes.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers, this is true, I feel like, for all these guys. The numbers, we didn't trade anyone, I feel like, whose numbers were good. You look, I mean, numbers were bad. You look at the numbers, they're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, he spent most of the year at high A, this Micah Ashman, but the numbers were great. 39 innings, 46 strikeouts, ERA of 1.6. So a reliever, but seems like a really good and intriguing arm. And he's now pitching for the Chesapeake Bay Sox. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. But again, overall, you happy with all these moves?
Listen, I'm never happy to be sellers at a trade deadline. I want to be buyers.
Mean, how we got here is very frustrating.
Yeah, but if you kind of look at the totality of these moves, how we were able to kind of bring in so many, not just prospects, so many arms, a lot of kind of intriguing arms. I think, and this is, listen, I'm not surprised that we did well. This is Elias's thing. Elias is great at identifying prospects. He's great at the draft. He's great at. I mean, everyone says this, and so I'll believe him. He's great at he's great at this. He's great at getting returns and trades. He's great at the draft. No one doubts this. What we question Mike Elias on is his ability to sign free agents, his ability to take a good team into a great team, his ability to add to the roster in a significant way, not his ability to identify prospects and make trades for prospects. This is something he's good at. Cost hours aside, this is something he's good at. And so, yeah, I think we did well.
All right. So that leaves us to kind of what's next.
Well, and also just real quick, Josh, are you surprised we weren't able to trade Eflin or Sagano, or was there anyone else that you thought,
Well, Eflin was hurt.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too surprised there.
Combined by having some struggles, and I mean, he hasn't pitched great all year. So I think that is true.
Does Eflin's contract end this season, or do we have another year?
It ends this year. In fact, I was looking at the contract situation. We only have, going into next year, we only have one player under contract. And I think that's with an option, a player option, but we only have one guy officially who we're responsible for paying. And that's Tyler O'Neill.
Okay. And that's a player option or a team option?
That's a player option, which at this point I'll assume he'll pick up, unless he'll pick
that up.
This is a nightmare. We also have a club option. I'm looking here now. A club option. Oh, that's 2026. Yeah, a club option next year for Jorge Mateo for $5.5 million.
I can't believe Mateo's still here.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking the Orioles are going to pick that option up.
Right.
So looks like this might be the last year for Jorge Mateo as well.
Yeah.
And everyone else is either arbitration eligible or a free agent. So Eflin, Sagano, Sanchez, Gary Sanchez, those are, I think, the free agents we have. And then everyone else kind of arbitration years.
Right. All right. So that means to get ready for next year, we're going to see a bunch of random guys come up over the next month and two.
Yeah.
We should see Dylan Beavers and Basallo in September. Do you think we'll see either one of them a little bit earlier?
Yeah. I think we're going to see them earlier.
All right. So you're thinking like mid-August we see them, with the idea that they won't lose their rookie eligibility and we'll get a little more time from them.
Yeah, I think mid-August. I think, I don't know, maybe August 13th or something. Maybe they bring them all back for Christian Faith Night on August 12th.
What does that have? What, to pray over all the injuries?
I just put up this
need extra guys in here.
That's stuck out to me. So yeah, no, I think mid-August. I mean, the way Beavers especially is playing right now. He had 2 home runs the other night, 4 walks the other night.
Right, you want him up here.
It's getting a little ridiculous, and he's not like Basayo. At least you can make the argument, well, he's learning first base.
Yeah, and
he's 20.
But you can easily make the argument that nothing on the Orioles season matters this year. It's all individual stats at this point.
Well, yeah, but so the question becomes, what's better for their development?
What's better, for preparing for next year?
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like let's get them as many at bats as we can in the majors.
All right. Now that the trade deadline is over and free agency doesn't start for a few more months, is this finally the window? Is this the window where Mike Elias can sit down and figure out some extensions? We've got guys. It would be a really good sign, really good thing for the fans to extend Westberg or Gunnar or Jackson.
Yeah, and I think you've seen enough at this point from all of them. Those 3 guys specifically. Now, you could raise question marks about Adley Rutschman.
That's why I left him off. I left him off the list on purpose.
But with those 3 guys, Henderson, Holiday, and Westberg, you
want to lock them all up.
I think you want to lock them all up. Gunnar is the oldest. Well, he's not. He's 24, but he's a year
tenured.
before. Yeah, the most tenured. So he starts arbitration this year. So you'd be buying out 3 years of arbitration, and then he becomes free agent 2029. So extending him. So he's going to be the most expensive for that reason, and because he's the best of those three right now.
Right.
And then Jordan Westberg, he is another year pre-arbitration, so he'll be making again next year probably under $1 million. So I feel like again he'll be a little bit cheaper, and he's not as good as Gunnar. The ceiling's higher, so I think like realistic extension, like Jordan Westberg seems to scream.
It screams extension to me because it's not expensive. I do not believe he's Scott Boras. Scott Boras is Jackson Holliday, and I think maybe Gunnar Henderson as well.
Yeah, so it seems like give this guy 6-7 years, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But again,
Gunnar,
the argument I guess
is Scott Boras as well, just to confirm.
But I guess the argument against that is, well, usually when you see these long, like you want to sign your elite players, Jordan Westberg's a really good player, but he's not.
Oh, Jordan Westberg is represented by Scott Boras as well.
Okay, so they all are.
Maybe we can just have Scott Boras come to town for 2 weeks and knock out all three of these. Let's make a nice package deal.
Yeah, you just like it takes. I mean, that's what we have to remember here too, Josh. It takes two sides to make a deal, right? Because Scott Boras is telling Gunnar and Westy and Holiday, like, don't sign, because because every year salaries go up. Now there is also this, and I don't know how agents and teams are going to handle it, but there's this another looming potential issue. In 2027
strike.
Yeah, for them to reach another kind of agreement between the owners and the players.
But isn't that also a reason, like, that is owners wanting a type of salary cap? So wouldn't that make more incentives for players to try to sign long-term now?
I would think, but then there also might be incentives by the owners to not sign now for those same reasons, right?
Right. Yeah, sure. All right, maybe we do just sign Adley and Colton Cowser since they're not Scott Boras agents. And put a little pressure on. Boys, don't you want to be around with your pals?
And I also don't know how, like, I don't know, like, for me, I think a lot of it would come to, like, my financial needs. Like, if I'm making less than $1 million and maybe my family doesn't have any money, I know less than $1 million, they're still making a ton of money.
Right.
But
all three of these guys are probably set for life, even without another contract.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Especially like Jackson Holiday. I mean, his dad was a major leaguer for how many years? Like Jackson Holiday is not. He doesn't need the money right now, and I don't know what the financial situation is of the other players, but it seems like if they wanted to, they can hold out. Now they risk being hurt or something, but position players less likely. Right. So I just think it's yes. The Orioles should pursue hard extensions with these free agents. I mean, with these young core players, but also just the way it's set up, I think they're incentivized to wait. So I'm curious to see if, and Mike Elias and this front office notoriously doesn't leak stuff either. So I don't think, even if there has been talks going on, I don't think we're going to hear about it. Well, maybe we can get inklings into a winter meeting, Scott Boras press conference.
April 5th was the last time there was an article written about the Orioles have talked to Scott Boras about extending some people.
And that probably came from Scott Boras saying something.
Probably so.
I bet it didn't come from anything from the Orioles. So, but yeah, it does. What I mentioned before, only one player under contract going into next year, and Tyler O'Neill. What this means is you got some money, and
yes,
and I know, and so it seems like now it's going to be the time. And every year from here on out, we're getting closer to free agency for these young players, and every year they get more expensive. So once you go from pre-arbitration to your arbitration years, salaries go up big time each year. So Gunnar's going to be a lot more expensive this year or next year. It's going to be a ton more expensive in 2027. So it feels like now is when you're going to have the most money in the next 5 years. This year, next year is when you're going to have the most amount of money. So let's do something now when you have the most money. If you can't do it this year or next year,
and where you're new ownership and you need to show that you're different.
Yeah, and you're coming off. I mean, the timing could not be more perfect. You're coming off a time where, if you're Mike Elias, people are questioning your ability to do this.
Right.
People are questioning your ability to kind of take the next step. Yes, you did the rebuild. Congratulations, pat on the back. You took a terrible team and you made them competitive. But can you take that next step? You just trade away a bunch of players, some of players that the fans really loved, like Cedric Mullins and Ryan O'Hearn. Now, what a great opportunity to kind of Yeah. People now are hating on Rubenstein. Don't look at the comments for what they're saying about David Rubenstein. They love the guy, ready to throw a parade for him a year ago.
Yep.
Now they're hating. And so what better time to kind of get Baltimore fans back in your good graces
and
than
publicly
an extension?
declare this is not a rebuild.
Yeah. And by the way,
got this core.
You don't need to wait to the offseason. You can have those talks right now.
No, you do it now, because in the offseason, you got to sign outfielders, you got to sign pitchers.
Right. You'll be distracted.
I need you to take care of this now and then prepare for the offseason.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The other news this weekend was the update on Grayson Rodriguez. Did you see this?
No, I was too busy watching Savannah Bananas. What's the update?
Maybe that guy on stilts can come pitch in place of Grayson Rodriguez.
Well, maybe more people would show up. How come we can sell out at Savannah Bananas game, but we can't sell out the Orioles? Anyway.
You want to know? You know how many people I saw with that hot take online?
I know.
And you know what the simple response is? If the Orioles only played 2 games in the city of Baltimore every 5 years or whatever, we would sell them out. Like,
oh yeah,
the Bananas, forget being like a cultural thing.
Yeah.
They never came to Baltimore. They came to Baltimore for 2 days. It better sell out.
And the Savannah Bananas sell out everywhere they go.
They do because they don't live in a place. They go do this world tour and they do 2 towns here, 2 towns there.
And their home Savannah, they sell out there too.
Right. Yeah. And they sell out. You know what? When they go to New York, they sell out. When they go to Boston, they sell out. So everywhere. Don't say it's a Baltimore thing.
Yeah, this has more to say about the Savannah Bananas. And I don't really understand that whole discussion. But my son was riveted both games, and he's telling me about all the rules and stuff. He was into it. So whatever. If it raises the popularity of baseball and gets young people into it, I'm okay with it. Even though I don't fully understand it.
I've been to a Bananas game. I watched Saturday night. I watched the game with Burt Rohde. He and I sat down and watched it together.
Friend of the show. Yeah.
Friend of the show. Occasional guest.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I watched it to see the little homages to Baltimore, and that was cool. And the Matt Wieters, Adam Jones, Nick Markakis, Buck Showalter.
Yeah, it was cool. They brought back the right guys. Whoever's doing PR,
they did a great job with. Yeah. I saw that, and my first thought was when Matt Wieters came out, I was like, why have the Orioles not invited Matt Wieters back for anything?
Yeah,
because true. They should.
Yeah, we like Matt Wieters. All those guys, Markakis, Jones, all good memories. Mostly good memories. The question my wife asked, and I didn't know the answer to this. She's like, Matt, and we were like on, you go on Facebook now. Most of our friends are still from Maryland. You see all the people posting their pictures of going to the game and stuff. She's like, does just everyone? Where do they buy? How does everyone have Savannah Bananas gear? These people because she's friends with people who don't even really like baseball. But all of a sudden, are they buying it at the stadium?
Yeah,
how are they getting all the Bananas
at
gear?
the stadium? At the stadium, they have booths set up outside the stadium and in the stadium. They set up gear everywhere, and they got to be making so much money because the whole thing is focused on kids. And what do your kids want when you take them anywhere? A shirt, a hat, whatever. And then they have all the players are out pregame signing autographs and interacting with the fans. So the kid needs to buy something so the person can sign it. And then they're all young 20-year-old boys who are accessible, so all the women love them.
Yeah.
They sell so much merch at these things.
But isn't it a little bit weird because it's not like I wouldn't buy Bananas gear to go watch them once every 10 years in person? Like I wouldn't buy, but I buy Orioles gear, I buy Ravens gear. Well, why would you buy Bananas gear?
Because it's not a baseball team. You're buying it's a circus. It's buying a Disney shirt.
Okay.
I saw someone on TikTok talk about the Bananas and say, why doesn't Disney just buy a banana team and put it in that stadium that the Braves used to do spring training in and have year-round banana ball? Makes a lot of sense. Make it a thing down there.
Yeah, give it a Disney name. Yeah.
Yeah, they buy it because it's an event. I bought my son a hat, a T-shirt, and a jersey.
Okay. So you're not only a commenter, you're a participator.
Technically, the T-shirt was for myself, and then he stole it.
Okay.
So, yeah, they make it real easy for you to buy plenty of merch when you go there.
Yeah.
But Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah, I also saw a comment about the playoff game, and it's true. Like I'll never forget this either. How they Orioles jacked up prices for playoff games
Yeah,
to an outrageous extent. They need to stop that nonsense too.
especially when, and that's right. They need to stop it, especially when we were kind of trickling into the playoffs, where we're like
Yeah,
we're struggling.
just sell maybe add $5 or something, but the prices were so jacked up it became silly. And
Yep.
so I was almost supporting people not going just to protest the jacked
Right.
up prices. And Savannah Bananas prices are reasonable. They're not
Yeah,
jacked
they're like
up like that.
$25 or something.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right,
back to the
sorry.
Orioles.
Yeah,
Grayson Rodriguez on August 1st, which was Friday, I believe. Mike Elias said that elbow surgery at this point is an option for Grayson Rodriguez. The surgery would be a debridement surgery to remove the bone.
Remove the bone. Isn't the bone important? You're going to put a different bone. Is it?
It's a positive development is that Rodriguez would not require elbow reconstruction surgery related to ligaments. Instead, Elias said the surgery would be a debridement to remove the bone. Because of that, Rodriguez would still be ready for spring training with the surgery. I don't know what that means to remove the bone.
Seems like maybe we could get Josh. We need to get your boy Elon Musk involved in this. Doesn't he have stuff going on with Neuralink where he's giving people the
but that's
power
for
to do
your,
things?
that's like your brain. That's more like a Heston Kerstead might be able to help with that.
No, but you can control your ligaments, kind of your body movements through your brain. And I mean, it's clearly we need to make Grayson to some kind of biopic man. So maybe that's the answer here.
Now,
But
when I Google debridement in a picture, it's a surgical procedure to remove damaged or unhealthy tissue, often on the shoulder or elbow, to promote healing and improve function. So I don't know why Elias said bone. I think it's tissue they're removing, not bone.
Okay. I've also heard this described as reconstructive surgery, which
No,
always
they're
sounds,
saying it's not that.
oh, it's not that.
Because the first sentence was, this is a positive development that Rodriguez would not require elbow reconstruction surgery.
Okay, good.
So he'll be ready for spring training. It's like, why not? Let's just go do it.
Ready for spring training this coming year
Yeah.
after having elbow surgery?
He's not having elbow surgery. He's going to have elbow surgery.
The debridement
surgery.
Yeah.
And it says, we're still finalizing the medical plan. Grayson has had a tough year. But with the surgery, Rodriguez is expected to be ready for spring training in February.
Huh. So, and I guess this would come down to, I guess Rodriguez will get second and third and fourth opinions, and it'll come down to what he wants to do. But
I assume
I
so.
guess that's good news. I don't know.
Apparently it's the same issue he's been dealing with since spring training.
Has any other pitchers had this debridement surgery?
Yes, many pitchers.
Okay.
Let's see. Debridement surgery pitchers. Let's see. Who? Jake Odorizzi?
Yeah.
Had it? Oh, no, that's a bad example. He missed an entire season.
All right, here I found this, Josh. All right, this is what I got. This is from, and this is why my Google search is different than your Google search. I went to the Journal of Shoulder and Elbow Surgery, and there's an academic paper on this about MLB players who had the surgery. Here's the numbers: 39 MLB players, 26 pitchers. Within the first 3 seasons after the surgery, 82% of players returned to play at the MLB level. I don't know if that's encouraging or not.
Here is a good example. Jacob deGrom had this outside of his Tommy John. Rich Hill, Chris Carpenter, Noah Syndergaard, Steven Strasburg had it on his shoulder. James Paxton on his shoulder. Aroldis Chapman had it on his knee. Recovery time 3 to 6 months for the shoulder and elbow. Results are mixed. Some pitchers bounce back well. Some then require Tommy John. So he's already had Tommy John though, right? No,
I don't know. He's always had issues with his side, unless he's
right.
Tommy John in the minors.
He has not.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting some results. This is the conclusion kind of this article. is that they think it's a viable surgery. They said there was no significant difference between a single season pre-surgery and post-surgery. However, they did say over 3 years post-surgery, players do have a 38% chance to return to the DL, though I wonder how close that 38% chance to return to the IL is similar to pitchers who haven't had the surgery.
Right.
And there is some concern that there's a slight decrease in velocity from pitchers, average 94 miles per hour down to 92 miles per hour for people who've had the surgery. So maybe also a slight decrease in velocity.
All right. Well, it's something to keep an eye on with Grayson, and at least it would give a chance for him to maybe pitch next season. So I guess that's good news.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than where we're at, where I'm like, this cat's never going to pitch again.
Has he pitched any games this season?
No, he started off
Right.
No, because I remember having discussions like he was just maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'll take it slow with them. And I said at the beginning, I was like, I'm not counting on Grayson for anything this year.
Right.
And that turned out to be the case, unfortunately. So if you look at, yeah, I mean, that's another discussion. We talked about the need for outfielders, especially with the trading of Laureano. You hope what's happening to Travis Rogers is legit, and then you pair that with Kyle Bradish. I know Kyle Bradish had a bad start. Was it yesterday at Norfolk? But I'm not worried about that.
No,
he's just getting his pitches in.
How many times do we make excuses on those rehab starts of he's just working something out?
Yeah. So you hope next year you got Kyle Bradish and Trevor Rogers as your one. Well, maybe you bring someone in, but right now our rotation options are Bradish, Rogers, Kramer, Povich. I watched Brandon Young pitch yesterday. I mean, that's another guy who's kind of pitching for his spot next year, making his impression for next year. I think Brandon Young's an intriguing option, but certainly Grayson Rodriguez's news. I think Elias and the Orioles need to take the approach that he won't be back fully healthy next year, even if he has a surgery. I don't think you can count on Grayson Rodriguez being your number 3 starter next year. I think you have to play as if he's not there.
I agree. No, you can't count on him at all.
Yeah. And just, I mean, we see it every year, the amount, and the Orioles have been hit stupid hard, but the amount of injuries every year, you need like 10 starting pitchers anyway.
Right. All right. So are you still, how much are you watching the games now? You still watching every game? Yeah,
actually I have been, just because they've been playing good ball and they've been playing well and they've been good in treating games. Like if they would get down 3 or 4 or 5-0 or something, like I would turn it off. But all the games have been close. I mean, like Cubs game where Gunnar Henderson hit the home run and it was the 8th inning. I mean, that's just exciting. Yeah, yesterday's game was exciting. So I'm still into them. I'm still rooting for them to make the playoffs. And still they have been, and I know you're just watching the stats, Josh, but until they've been statistically completely eliminated, I'm still hoping that they can run off, 50 wins in a row.
Oh, well.
Amazing thing.
Yeah, and how about that great performance last week with the Blue Jays to take 3 out of 4 from the Blue Jays and come real close to 4 out of 4.
Yeah, so, that was a lot of fun. Like
that was fun. Yeah. The team's still fun.
Yeah, we're down. I mean, I think last time we talked, they were like at a 1% chance to make the wild card. We're down to 0.2% chance to make the wild card. I think mostly because of all those trades.
Yeah, those trades.
But you're telling me there's still a chance. So as long as, and we're playing a bunch of good teams. So one way to look at it is, oh no, we're screwed because we're playing a bunch of good teams. I look at it as we're playing a bunch of wild card teams ahead of us. We're playing the Mariners. We're playing the Astros.
To be fair, every team's ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, the Athletics we play, are they ahead of us? We play them next.
No, the Athletics are behind us. I believe the Athletics and the White Sox are the 2 teams behind us.
All right. Though maybe Elias is probably sitting there trying to wish for us to lose to the Athletics so it raises our chances
of the drafts.
Of the number 1 pick or a top pick in the draft. Yeah, maybe he's to lose those games. Maybe that's why Beavers and Basalo's not here yet. Wants to lose a few more games.
I hope it's simply waiting for next year.
Yeah. But I mean, we need to figure out. I mean, that's going to be Basayo. What is he? Is he going to be our starting first baseman next year? Is he going to platoon catcher with?
I think he's first base.
What's his role next year?
I think he's probably moving towards first base because we got to get that bat up here.
Everyday first baseman next year?
I think so.
Yeah. All right.
As long as you're comfortable with Adley catching more games.
What does that leave
with Adley behind the plate?
Where does that leave your boy Kobe Mayo if Basalo's playing every day first base.
DH.
DH for
I'm
Mayo?
fine. In 2026, I want an everyday DH.
You do. You don't like the flexibility with the DH spot?
I don't think it's working. I think the day off isn't working. Give guys a real day off if you want them a day off. I want a big bat in that DH slot that I can count on every game.
You think Mayo's that guy?
No, I think Basalo Mayo might platoon first base.
Okay, and then DH the other days?
And then DH the other days.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, I think I would imagine next year they're going to use Mayo kind of like Mountcastle.
I think
hit him a lot against lefties and occasionally against righties, but mostly against lefties.
I think this is Mayo's 2 months to prove he can be your first baseman.
Yeah. But Mayo's in a tough spot here because with Basayo coming right behind him, who's a higher ranked prospect and probably a better ceiling and all that stuff.
He is.
And Mayo can't move back to third because Westbrook's there. So be interesting to see how some of this stuff plays out.
Mayo needs to play well enough for them to want Basalo behind the plate.
And then, okay.
And then you do a rotation between DH, catcher, first base, which keeps Mayo and Rutschman around.
And they're playing Basayo almost every day at first base in Norfolk.
They are.
I heard someone talk about an interesting idea of the Orioles were, I don't know if this is true, but they just kind of speculated the Orioles were shopping Adley Rutschman because that would solve some of these problems, right? You would move Basayo to catcher,
it would.
Mayo to first, and you don't have some of these issues. And Rutschman, you hope Basayo is better than Rutschman, frankly.
Yeah. But I'm also at the same time, I'm tired of all this hype about catchers, the Matt Wieters effect, Adley Rutschman effect, where we bring up these catchers that are going to change the organization, and they don't.
Right.
So I'm still hoping Rutschman figures it out.
Yeah. And yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, and I still think if you just look at kind of the major league catchers today, I would take I think Adley Rutschman is still one of the better catchers in the league.
I agree.
Because there's just not that many great options at catcher to begin with.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you ready to get out of here? I know you've got a meeting you got to get to.
Yeah, what time is that? Yeah, 12 minutes. All right, yeah, we can get out of here. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. We're going to still bring you this content throughout the season, win or lose, even when they're mathematically eliminated, but they're still not mathematically eliminated yet. So let's go, O's. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. You can follow Josh on. He's all over the TikTok. So make sure if you're not following Josh on TikTok, go over there and follow him. You can follow me on Twitter at Section336. You can follow Josh on Twitter
at Josh Roca.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.